The U.S. coast is substantially more crowded than the rest of the country as a whole. In 2010, over 123 million people, or 39% of the nation's population, lived in coastal shoreline counties. Today, among coastal states exposed to hurricanes, only Florida ranks higher than each of the Northeast states in terms of the percentage of total property that's vulnerable to catastrophic damage from a coastal storm. Hurricane Sandy was the deadliest and most destructive hurricane of the 2012 Atlantic hurricane season and the second costliest hurricane in United States history. The storm became the largest Atlantic hurricane on record, with winds spanning 1,100 miles. Estimates of 2015 assessed damage to have been somewhere around $75 billion, a total surpassed only by Hurricane Katrina. On October 2012, Hurricane Sandy made its mark on the borough of Mantoloking, New Jersey. Mantoloking suffered severe washover, including the creation of 2 new temporary inlets. Approximately 24 oceanfront houses in Mantoloking were completely removed from their foundations and destroyed. The superstorm caused major property damage, multiple beach areas, extreme storm surge, and shore erosion. In early 2013, engineering teams from Hatchmont McDonald and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection began developing a plan for protecting this 3.5-mile coastline from further extreme weather events. This $23.84 million project was part of a much larger beach fill project by the United States Army Corps of Engineers. In the spring of 2013, the engineer was tasked with submitting a material cost estimate and fine-tuning a few engineering details. At that time, Nucor Skyline provided the engineer with multiple estimates for various sheets and coating combinations. The engineering details and realistic cost estimate provided by Nucor Skyline was essential in allowing the engineer to secure funding for the project. The engineer had designed the entire wall with the use of SKZ 34 sheet piles, and Nucor Skyline became the supplier of choice for the steel sheet piles. The engineer indicated that the significant height of the SKZ 34 sheet section at 18 inches was critical to the selection, as it mitigates instantaneous energy dispersion at the face of the wall from wave impacts. In July of 2014, construction of the seawall at the foot of the Mantoloking Bridge began. The 45-foot-long SKZ sheets manufacturing using A690 marine-grade steel were being driven into the beach. The sheets manufactured and supplied by Nucor Skyline are wider and more efficient than other cold-formed sections in the market, and therefore require fewer sheets to be installed. Approximately 150 feet of seawall was constructed on a daily basis. The toe of each sheet was driven to 30 feet below sea level. The top elevation of the wall matched FEMA's 100-year storm level requirement at plus 15 NAVD 88. With continuous specification and design layout modifications, Nucor Skyline provided ongoing engineering support from the beginning to the end of the project. The Mantoloking seawall would be the largest and longest coastal resilient sheeting project ever constructed in New Jersey. Supplying the huge quantity of sheets in an extremely accelerated time was the critical challenge. Nucor Skyline provided the contractor an accelerated delivery and production schedule to meet the aggressive timeline of the project. By working closely with Nucor Skyline's parent company and coil supplier, Nucor Skyline was able to manufacture and deliver 14,000 tons of steel using a 15 truckload per day rotation from June to September 2014. Nucor Skyline's vertically integrated supply chain allowed the production of sheet piling to start within 1 week of the order date and assured the complex fabricated sections would be delivered on time. The A690 coil used to make the sheet piles was 98% recycled material. In addition to providing protection from future storms, the steel sheet wall, which now calls the barrier island of Mantoloking home, is part of a much larger USACE beach fill project. On October 2, 2015, Hurricane Joaquin sent 10 to 12-foot waves smashing against the new seawall in the barrier island. The steel sheet pile wall was used as a first measure of storm protection and is currently the only line of defense against storms. Everything we pushed up south of Brick Beach 3 has gone back into the ocean, said Brick Mayor John Desai. At high tide, the ocean is hitting the wall, so there's no sand for us to push up. Brick Township officials say that a steel wall put in place by the State Department of Environmental Protection and Mantoloking and Brick to protect Route 35 has done its job. The wall worked exactly as it should have, Desai said. Instead of the water in the ocean going over the wall, the sand eroded downward, which is what it was engineered to do. Nucor Skyline provided on-time delivery, engineering support, and project management throughout the process, making them a true project partner. Stay tuned for more steel sheet pile projects from Nucor Skyline.